everyone, so I did a part 1 of showing you some of my roses and had lots of really positive comments to say that it was useful. So here's part 2 because I do have quite a lot of David Austin roses in my garden. I am very lucky, and the later blooming ones have had their second flush. So I've got some lovely varieties to show you, and I think they're quite a good example of the rose as well. So I've tried to go for, sometimes they go over and they start to look slightly different. So I don't know how good the lighting is in here, but hopefully I can just give you a general idea of what each rose looks like and do a bit of review of each one. So these ones are David Austin. I do have one that's not David Austin that I want to show you as well because it is one of my favourite roses. It's really beautiful. What I'll do is I'll start with this one here, I think. So I absolutely love this rose. This is Elizabeth, and it is a really, really beautiful David Austin rose. It's a very stout, substantial shrub. So, for example, a rose such as Queen of Sweden is very upright. Elizabeth actually have next to Queen of Sweden, and it is a very it's a large shrub and it really bushes out. So instead of going, it is quite high, it is quite a tall shrub, but it goes outwards. So I would highly recommend Elizabeth. I don't really cut it, this is just to show an example of it. But it's a really beautiful garden rose, and if you want lots of blooms, it does drop its petals, but I love that. I think it's really, really beautiful. So there is a lot of deadheading involved with this one. But as you can see, it's just got lovely clusters of blooms that they've kind of got like an apricot tone to them. It does have a nice scent. It's not as strong as a rose like Gertrude Jekyll, but it's still just a really beautiful rose. But you do need quite a lot of thorns, and you need a lot of space to have this rose if you want it to really thrive. But it's in my mixed rose border. I have it next to Queen of Sweden, a row of Silas Marner, and then it's also next to the Mayflower, which I'll show you next, which is really, really pretty, very romantic, really beautiful rose, Elizabeth. This is the Mayflower. So I feel like this rose does not get talked about enough. I tried to get a good example of it. I think that is, you see it's got really ruffly feathers. That one has feathers, petals, ruffly petals. So it has started to grow over a bit, this one, but it's just a really lovely, delicate rose. It's not very big, so if you've got a smaller space that you want to have it in, or maybe even in a container, I think it would do really well in a container. It's not loads of thorns. It's just a really pretty, underrated rose, I think. I'd like to get another one for the front, just because it doesn't take up a lot of space. It's just really delicate, romantic, ruffly petals. Not a strong scent, but it's still got a nice scent, and it's got that brighter pink, which I really like, because in that row I've got obviously Elizabeth and Queen of Sweden, which are quite a pale pink, so having the Mayflower with them is really lovely. I'll talk about this one next. So this is Silas Marner. Beautiful flowers. Personally, in my garden, so I only have one shrub, so I can only go by what it's like in my garden, so this may not be the case for everyone who has it, but the shrub, for me, it doesn't really hold its shape very well, which it actually works where I have it. It actually looks good because it's near the edge, so it kind of sprays out, and because I've got next to Queen of Sweden, it actually gives different variations in height, so it works where I have it, but it doesn't, in my garden, it doesn't hold its shape as well. And I think I do love the rose. I'm glad I have it. I'm glad I have it in my collection, but I think if you were thinking of getting Silas Marner and you didn't already have Olivia Rose Austin, for example, I would just personally just choose Olivia Rose Austin. But I do love it. It's got really, if you look at the petals, it is quite intricate, so that's quite unusual as well. Obviously that is different to Olivia, but for me it's just the shape of it, and I do need to put some plant supports in to really keep the shape, and even then it's kind of flopping over a bit. But yeah, still a beautiful rose, and I do love that I've got it in the collection. This is one of my roses. It's actually not pink. I think it's my only David Austin that's not pink, but I absolutely love this rose. This is Tranquility, and it's just the most beautiful soft cream romantic, gorgeous rose. I have one, I've just added a bare root standard in the front garden, and I also have the shrub in the middle, which is just, it blooms later, so it tends to bloom, Olivia blooms, and then I get Tranquility with some of the other roses, which is really, really pretty. I would highly recommend Tranquility as just a lovely garden rose. I haven't actually, because I only have the one shrub, I haven't cut it much, but I think it would hold up for a few days in a vase as well if you wanted to, and it does look beautiful with, you know, the pink roses to put them together. But yeah, I would highly recommend Tranquility. It's a gorgeous rose. Last rose that I wanted to show you, it's actually not a David Austin, but it was in flower, so I thought it would be really nice to cut one and show you. This is, I can't remember the exact name of it, it's a Friar's Rose, and it is a hybrid tea rose, which I'd like to add more of. I want to add, because obviously I have a lot of David Austins, I want the more traditional hybrid teas, and I love them and I do want more of them, so I'm going to start designing the other section of the garden to have more hybrid teas, because I think they're just so classic, romantic, beautiful. This one, it does have a nice scent, and hybrid teas tend to be better for cutting as well than obviously some of the garden roses such as Elizabeth, but look at the colour on that, it's really, really pretty. So yeah, it's a Friar's Rose, and I've had the shrub for a while, but I actually moved the shrub around and upset it, but I finally got it in a place where it's happy, and I'm happy with it. But yeah, I would absolutely love to add some more hybrid tea. So I think even with, these are my non-pink roses, I think just looking at some of those together, it's really, really gorgeous. But yeah, so that's just a few more then. I hope that was helpful. And I don't think this actually includes my whole collection. So if I do get a few more flower, I will definitely cut them and show you guys. So thank you for watching.